So, you're thinking about jumping into aesthetic medicine? Good call. It's one of the fastest growing fields out there right now. Whether you're a medical pro looking for a big career change or maybe just a new side venture, this is your roadmap. We're going to break down how to start smart and, maybe more importantly, how to avoid the common traps.
First up, let's just wrap our heads around the scale of this thing. Because the opportunity here isn't just big, it's huge. And it is growing fast.
Yeah, you heard that right. That is the projected size of the global aesthetic medicine market by 2030. It's an absolutely staggering number. And what's driving it? Well, everything from new non-invasive procedures to cultural shifts, like the whole Zoom effect, right? We've all been staring at our own faces on calls, and it's made a lot more people aware of their appearance. This isn't some tiny niche. It's a full-blown global phenomenon.
Okay, so with that kind of crazy growth, the question for you isn't really if there's an opportunity, it's how do you get a piece of the pie? How do you go from being just curious about aesthetics to being a truly competent practitioner?
Now this next part is maybe the most critical decision you'll make right at the beginning. You see, not all training is created equal, and picking the wrong path can be a really costly mistake, not just in money, but in your time and your confidence.
And this really highlights the key difference. On one side, you have what we can call the Flair trap. You know these courses. You show up, you watch some procedures, you get a fancy certificate of attendance, you might learn the lingo, but the real question is, can you actually do anything? On the other side, you have the foundation path, which is all about real-world competence. The goal isn't what's written on the syllabus, it's what you can confidently and safely do when you walk out the door.
Which brings us to the most logical starting point for any doctor, nurse, or dentist looking to get into this field. You absolutely need a course that's designed for total beginners and focuses on building that essential real-world competence from day one.
So what does a gold standard foundation course actually look like? Well, the Hartley Street Institute's foundation course is a perfect example. It's built to be that solid first step, and it focuses on the two absolute cornerstones of aesthetics: botulinum toxin and dermal fillers. A real foundation is built on practical, hands-on experience. We're talking 2 full days of training where you're actually working on live models, all under close supervision. The focus is on the absolute core skills, your injection techniques, and, crucially, the specific facial anatomy that an injector needs to know inside and out. And with everything included, you're building real, functional skills from the moment you start.
Okay, but what if you're not just dipping your toe in? What if you know right now that you're all in on this? Well, for those who want a more complete start and a really clear path forward, there's an integrated program that takes you beyond just the basics.
It's called the Certificate in Aesthetic Medicine, or CAM for short. The best way to think about this is not as just another course, but as a complete launchpad for your career in aesthetics. It bundles together all the essential skills you need to build a really versatile practice right from the get-go.
And the way the CAM program is structured is just logical. It all starts with that essential foundation course we just talked about. Then you build on it with an advanced course. And finally, you round out your entire skill set with a deep dive into skin rejuvenation. It's a clear, structured path from beginner to a much more capable and confident practitioner.
Now, that skin rejuvenation module is where things get really exciting because it covers some of the most in-demand treatments that clients are asking for right now. We're talking about things like chemical peels, microneedling, understanding medical-grade skincare, also known as cosmeceuticals, and even the newer treatments like polynucleotides, which are injectables that help regenerate the skin. Having these skills in your toolkit means you can help a much wider range of patients.
So you've got the courses, you've got the skills, but you know what truly sets exceptional training apart is the philosophy behind the teaching. It's a whole different way of thinking about anatomy, and it's designed specifically to make you a safer and way more effective injector.
This quote right here gets to the absolute heart of it. Instead of just memorizing a flat 2D map of where to inject, following lines on a page, this approach teaches you to think in 3D. You learn to actually navigate the different planes and layers of the face, understanding exactly where your needle is at all times and what structures are around it.
The difference between the two approaches is just night and day. See, traditional anatomy is often taught for surgeons, which focuses on how to cut through layers. But you're not a surgeon. As an injector, you need to know how to navigate within those layers. It's a fundamental shift from just knowing the map to truly understanding the territory.
And when you start to understand the face this way, you realize that every single layer has a purpose. From the epidermis that affects texture, all the way down to the periosteum on the bone, which is the foundation for everything. Every millimeter tells its own story. This knowledge is what turns injecting from just a mechanical task into a real art form that's grounded in solid science.
Okay, so let's pull all these pieces together. What does this journey actually look like for you, starting from square one?
Well, here it is. This roadmap lays it all out, crystal clear. You can see that big Start Here box. And where does it point? Directly to the Foundation Botox and Dermal Fillers course. That is your entry point. That's the front door. And from there, the path just branches out into advanced skills, the CAM certificate, and even a full fellowship. But it all starts with that one single essential step.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Success in aesthetics is not about collecting certificates to hang on a wall. It is about building true competence. It starts with a solid foundation, it's built on tons of hands-on practice, and it is guided by a deep, functional understanding of anatomy. That is the path from just being an attendee to being a confident, capable practitioner.
So there you have it, the map to get into a $333 billion industry. The training, the philosophy, the path forward, it's all clear. The only question left is what's your first step going to be?